Hi everyone, welcome to my SEOUL apartment tour. Right when you come through the main door, we have this kind of foyer area. This little foyer area is meant for you to remove your shoes before you enter the apartment. And on the side here are one of the two cupboard spaces that I have. So in here, I really use it for all sorts of storage. I store some of my excess skincare that I'm not using in here. A lot of my cleaning stuff like detergents and dish soap and like Swiffer pads, as well as my shoes. This shoe rack in here, I'm not even sure if it is a shoe rack, to be honest. When I first moved in, I was very confused because the slots are very narrow and shallow. So I don't know what is supposed to be here. Also, there is like a metal rod with some hooks on it. I'm very confused of what I'm supposed to be hooking on this. But nonetheless, I just use the space for my shoes. Remove my shoes and I'm now inside my apartment, and here I actually have yet another wardrobe space. So there's one here and then one over here. So for this one, I mainly use it for my jackets, some thicker sweaters that need to be hung up, and also I store my two large suitcases in here as well. It's definitely not enough room for all of my clothes, hence why I had to purchase a dresser. The immediate opposite side of this second wardrobe is the bathroom. Inside, my shower is sectioned off, which is good so that it means my bathroom is not a traditional wet room style that some Korean apartments may have. The bathroom does come with one cupboard space, which is great, and that's where I store all my skincare that I use every single day. Let's walk out of the bathroom through this little hallway to see the rest of the apartment. Alright, so over here, this is my freezer and fridge. As you can see, this freezer is tiny. I had so many issues with this because it's the size of a microwave. The capacity is not a lot. And here I have my fridge. There's not much in there. I do like the fact that the fridge and freezer are concealed by these cupboards. Up top here, it is another storage space. You can use it as a pantry or just anything else. Right next to the fridge, over here I have a little bit of space where I've put an air purifier. It is recommended to get one here in Seoul just because the air is not that great. There's a lot of fine dust and pollution, of course. I just got this one off of Coupang. It's by the brand Xiaomi, and they have an app that you can control, like to turn it on and off and whatnot. So it's really handy. And it definitely works because when I have my humidifier on, or if I'm cooking something that's very aromatic, then it starts running really, really hard. So I trust that it is purifying my air. And over here I have the doorbell system. To be honest, I have never touched this ever. I don't even know what button to press. I never really went to explore, and also whenever I have deliveries, I ask them to not ring the doorbell anyway, so there's no reason for me to be using the doorbell. Like, I think theoretically if someone buzzes you downstairs, you're able to unlock the front gate through this, but I've never needed to use it ever. And also, it's a little phone. This is definitely very old. Most of the apartments have like a digital panel, but mine's like a vintage little phone. So when someone rings my doorbell, automatically the camera out there turns on and I can see who's standing there. So let's check out the kitchen. It's just right around this corner on the other side of this wall. This is my kitchen. The first notable thing I want to talk about is this marble decal over here. This cupboard originally, if you've seen my previous videos, is actually blue, and I just wasn't feeling that blue vibe. And so I bought this stick-on decal from Daiso and I just stuck it on myself, and I love it so much more now. It fits much better in my opinion. Over here I do have my gas range stovetop. There are 4 of them, which is not all that useful because of course you can't be using all 4 at the same time because the pots kind of clash with each other. I think what might have been better is to actually cut this in half, maybe just have 2 stovetops and then have more counter space over here. But then again, if there were 2, I don't know if you can have 2 things simultaneously or if the pots are going to be too fat. So I guess maybe there is a reason for this design. Over here on my countertop, I just have my Brita filter, my water jug, as well as my kettle. You can see that I love black. I just feel like it looks nice together and whatnot. But anyway, over here is my sink. I do have some dishes drying. I just did those, so don't mind that. But yes, there's definitely lots of cupboard space and whatnot for you to store things. And over here there is this, I think it's a radio clock thing, but I have never once turned it on, never used it. As you can tell, this apartment is quite old. Over here is where the gas comes in through, so you actually have to turn this knob on for you to have gas to use your stove. Over here, I set up this shelf. I store my air fryer as well as my blender here, some other containers, my spices over here just so that it's not taking up space on the countertop over here. And this one I got off of Coupang and it was very, very simple to assemble. And it has like 1, 2, 3 sections to it that you can actually put stuff on. Also, here is where they have like the electrical breaker thing. Before, a tenant had put like this picture there, and since then it's been very faded and just ugly, and I just don't really like it. So I put this piece of paper there to cover it up, and now I'm like, okay, I don't even notice it anymore. So that pretty much is it for the kitchen. Let's check out my dining area. So in front of my kitchen here is my dining table. You also might be wondering, what the heck is this giant black thing? Well, it was a little DIY project of mine to cover up something that's behind it. So basically this building is quite old, and behind there is this blue, not even functional, huge protruding AC unit that the landlord refuses to remove. And I obviously don't want to be looking at that because it's not nice to look at. And so I decided to buy one of these multi-purpose racks and try to cover it up. Normally people get these multi-purpose racks for like maybe just to have a partition in their home or hang little hooks on it so that they can hang buckets on it and have stationery there and other tools and whatnot, or even just to hang decor. I got this off of Coupang or 오늘의 both of them sell it, but I got it because it was tall enough to cover up the AC thing. It's so high up in the wall, and this rack is floor to ceiling. I just bought some black fabric and then don't know why it took me 8 hours to wrap the fabric around this rack. I think it's because I wanted it to be really taut and like kind of seamless. So it took a little bit of time to do this, but in the end, I'm very happy with the results because I would rather look at this giant black thing than that ugly blue AC machine. Off to the side, I have a little bit of this nook. I have a cute little area rug, as well as a chair for the dining table, of course. The chair I got off of 오늘의 and this mirror is from Coupang, I believe, and I really like this mirror because it's actually a little bit wider than most. It's 70 centimeters as opposed to the normal 50 or 60 that I've seen. So I really like that it's big. Unfortunately though, it does have a white frame, and I got this a year ago, and I recently went back to Coupang to check and I saw that a black one was in stock. That would have been perfect a year ago. Nonetheless, I really do like having a mirror here. I feel like it opens up the space and it just kind of ties this little corner together really, really nicely. Next, just right in front of my dining table area and the mirror is my living room. So yeah, this is my living room, the place where I filmed a lot of my sitting down talking videos with my infamous couch that I just absolutely love. It is a 2-seater, and I also purchased a module so it can sit 3. It's a big boy. This whole length is about 2 meters long, and the depth of the couch is actually quite deep as well. And I got this on 오늘의. Here I do also have a collapsible coffee table. I bought this off of Coupang, and I just love, of course, that it's black and it's unique kind of bean shape. These ceramics I purchased at the Express Bus Terminal Flower Market area. I would say most of the time I do have my laptop set up here and I sit on the floor leaning against the couch and I just do my work or watch TV and whatnot. So I would say I do spend quite a bit of time in this living room area. The last part of the house is my sleeping area. So right at the foot of my bed, I do have this dresser. And if you watch my earlier episodes when I first moved in, you would have seen that I had so much trouble trying to get this dresser out of the box and try to move it into this spot here. It was such a struggle, but it does serve me very, very well because I definitely need that extra storage space. Those 2 cupboards at the front there are not enough, and I definitely store a lot of my clothes here. Up top over here above the dresser is actually a newly installed AC unit, so thankfully I don't have to use that ugly blue old one. Here above my dresser are also where my controls are, so this is where I turn on the hot water as well as the floor heating. A lot of Korean housings will definitely have this. For me, I don't know why my indicator says weird random numbers. It's like, it says 66. It's not Fahrenheit. It's not Celsius. I don't know what this number is. Is it a percentage? I have no idea. But besides the fact that this one is a little wonky, it works fine. I get my floor heating, my hot water in the summer, it's all good. And over here we have my bed. It is a queen size bed. I honestly don't take up most of the space. I just use maybe half or less. But it's really nice and spacious and comfortable. The mattress is very firm, which is what I prefer. Otherwise my body will be in pain, unfortunately. But next to it, I just have this little nightstand. Just have a nightlight on it. It's very nice, warm tone. The shape is really cute as well. And I have a little mirror just for decor. I don't actually use it. And just a candle, some hand sanitizer, and cream. I also do have my humidifier here plugged in as well. Also, just want to mention that the curtains back here, also shown in a previous episode, me trying to install this, it was again the most difficult and frustrating thing ever, just because it's like drywall, but there's nothing for the nail to actually secure itself in. So it kept on falling down, and I basically don't use the curtains. I never pull on them, I never touch them or open them because they will fall out of the ceiling at any moment. But I absolutely love this window. It is floor to ceiling, or almost to the floor, and it's just so big. And the best part about this apartment is that it is south facing. A south facing apartment means that I always get this warm, beautiful sunlight and sunshine into the apartment, and it really does bring me so much joy. And honestly, sometimes with the sunlight, the room gets so hot that even in the winter time, I'm like sweating. I'm actually sweating right now. I just wanted to quickly show you guys what the apartment looked like when I first moved in. As you can see, you got that blue kitchen glass, that big blue AC, and that desk and chair, which I've gotten rid of. After some easy DIY projects, I turned my home into what it is now. This apartment is 30 meters squared, the deposit is 10 million Korean won, and the monthly rent is 650,000 Korean won. I'm actually going to be moving out of this place and into a new apartment, so I will definitely miss this apartment for multiple reasons. One, it's really spacious. My new apartment is smaller. Two, the beautiful big south-facing window. And three, it after all was my very first apartment in Seoul. I moved here by myself over a year ago, and I spent quarantine here, and it definitely holds a special place in my heart. So without getting too sentimental now, I am still excited for my next chapter, and if you would like to follow along my journey, please feel free to follow and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!